Miss Kinzis Zubrod making her way in to lead our hitches. Teresa Springett making her way in next for the Schreiber Pertrons in the Rush River entry. Furrows to Fence making their way in with Rihanna Dietrichs. Silver Oak Pertrons, the Strain entry. Kelly Woodbury doing the driving for the Blue Ribbon Days. Arcola Ranch making their way in next. This is your first division. We did have an add-on, so we are going with 6 entries on the rail at the trot. And Miss Kenseth will be reversing. Now that she is at the gate area, we are going to start our reverse with our lady teams. Our ladies all making that diagonal cut across the arena, ultimately changing the directions that they are working, giving the judge the opportunity to see both sides of these horses and for both sides to work up against the railing. And we're going to bring you down to the walk, please. All down to the walk. And we're going to pick it back up to the trot, please. Back up to the trot. No time to be shy. Let's cheer on our ladies as they go by. Miss Kenseth will be starting our lineup when she gets down to Bill's direction. We will be starting our lineup. Our ladies all finding their spot in the center of the arena. And let's welcome our ladies in the first division into the arena. We do have a special award that we're going to be presenting at the end of the night. It is the Fan of the Night Award, and we are watching to see who is cheering loud and proud, who's making noise, who's cheering on every hitch in here. So don't think we're not watching and looking around, because tonight and each and every night we are going to be presenting the Fan of the Night. So make sure to cheer loud and proud. Our judge, Mr. Mark Mare, now walking down the lineup, looking at each entry. Kenseth Zubrod, first under his eye. The Zubrod family joining us from Oklahoma. Next in the lineup, we have Teresa Springett doing the driving with Rush River and Schreiber Perchman's entry. Our next entry is Furrows to Fences, the entry of Ann Clary of Wisconsin with Rhiannon doing the driving. Our next entry is the entry of Silver Oak Percherons, joining us from Manitoba with Katie Feevold doing the driving. Our next entry in the lineup is the entry of Blue Ribbon Days with Miss Kelly Woodbury exhibiting. And our final entry in this class is number 2808. This is the entry of Arcola Ranch, joining us from Arizona with Brittany Miller. This is our first of 3 sections for our judge, Mr. Mark Mare's review. He is going to be making notes on his card. In addition to our Fan of the Night, we are also going to award a Princess of the Night. We have a crown and sash for any young girls that are making some noise and cheering on the exhibitors. So throughout the night, we will be watching. We are going to be opening the gates. Miss Brittany, if you would go out to your right. Brittany for the Arcola Ranch. Miss Kelly and Miss Sage for the Blue Ribbon Days. Katie doing the driving for the Silver Oak Percherons. Burroughs Defenses with Rhiannon. Teresa Springett doing the driving for Rush River and Schreiber's Entry. And Miss Kinza Zubrod winding out that first division. All right, if that wasn't a tough enough group, we do have 2 more sections to come in. 6 entries each. This class saluting our registered mares with the lady drivers. Heat number 2 making their way in, Miss Nicole leading these hitches with the Jackson Fork Ranch. The Zubrod entry coming in with Shelby Payton. Windermere Farms with Melissa. Maddie doing the driving for the Strain family. Miss Jana for the Fedor Farms. On the rail at the trot, ladies, on the rail at the trot. Missy Fahey also with the Silver Creek Farms in this class. Nicole will be starting our reverse when she gets to the corner. Nicole will be starting our reverse. All right, we're going to bring you down to the walk, ladies. Down to the walk, please. The walk is the natural gait of our draft horses. Our judges seeing that they come from the snappy trot down to the steady walk. and back into the trot, all moving at the trot. And Miss Nicole will start our lineup when you get down to Bill's direction. All right, let's put our hands together and welcome in our second division to the lady teams. We see a lot of people moving and grooving out there. Again, we're going to be awarding our Fan of the Night and our Princess of the Night going to a young lady. So keep cheering loud and proud as our judge makes his way down the lineup. First in the lineup, we're welcoming Jackson Fork Ranch with Nicole Hansberger doing the driving. Our next in the lineup is Miss Shelby Payton doing the driving for the Zubrods. Silver Creek Farms next in the lineup, joining us from Belle Plaine, Minnesota with Missy Fahey. Windermere Farms joining us from Pennsylvania next in our lineup with Melissa exhibiting. Our next entry is the entry of the Strain Family Farm, making an international show, joining us from Boissevain, Manitoba, Maddie Strain exhibiting. And our final entry in this division is the entry of Fedora Farm Percherons, joining us from Michigan with Jana doing the driving. All right, our judge has seen all of our entries in Division 2. One more section before we will be placing. We are going to place our top 15 entries in this class. We are going to be opening the gates. Jana, you will be making your way out to your right, please. We will see some of these ladies back in, but let's take them all out with a nice round of applause. Jana doing the driving for the Fedora family Percherons. Maddie for the Strain family. Melissa doing the driving for the Windermere Farms. Missy Fahey for the Silver Creek Farm. Shelby doing the driving for the Zubrod Percherons. And Miss Nicole for the Jackson Fork Ranch entry. Our class for the registered mare team with the lady drivers, sponsored by Summit Farms. Thank you going out to our friends from Iowa sponsoring our class with the ladies driving the team of registered mares. Our third and final entries. Now, they say they are making a tack adjustment, so it will be just a moment. We always want to acknowledge our ground crew working out back, getting these horses in and out safely. It is like a maze, and it's a traffic congestion that you can't imagine with all entries out there working. But we are going to be welcoming our third and final group in just a moment. While we have a moment, we'd like to say thank you to all of our sponsors. As you look around the arena, you see our key sponsors, our top sponsors listed on those banners. You will also see names on the back of some of our wagons for our wagon sponsors. It doesn't matter the amount you donate, it is the overall support that this World Percheron Congress has received. So we thank each and every one of our sponsors and acknowledging those on the railing. Heat number 3 now making their way in. Miss Faye doing the driving for Ground Pounders. Miss Katie on the lines for the Yoder Equine Stables. Hallie doing the driving for Rose Hill Percherons. Miss Faith on the lines for the Hanson Percherons. Lauren doing the driving for Pine Hollow Dairy. Royal Woods from Iowa with Trish Powell exhibiting. Ladies on the rail at the trot, please. And Miss Faye will be starting our reverse. As soon as she passes by our announcer stand, Miss Faye starting our reverse. And we're going to bring you down to the walk, ladies. Down to the walk, please. And back into the trot, ladies. All trot on. And Miss Faye will be lining up as she makes her way around for the ground pounder entry. We will be lining up with Miss Faye. And let's give our ladies in our final division a nice round of applause. Our first entry in front of our judge is entry 2611, the entry of ground pounder Percherons from Granite Falls, Minnesota. Miss Faye Couture doing the driving. Next for our judges' attention is the entry of Yoder Equine Stables, joining us all the way from Hooper, Utah, with Miss Katie Cook exhibiting. Our judge now paying attention to entry 2087, Rose Hill Stables, all the way from Viking, Alberta, Canada, Miss Hallie Rosica doing the driving. Our judge now reviewing the entry of Hanson Perch Runs from Chatfield, Minnesota with Faith Brooks. Next is entry 4002. That is the entry driven by Lauren Mattoon for the Pine Hollow Dairy, making the trip from New York. And our final contestant in this third division is entry 4006. That is the Royal Woods entry. They join us from Iowa with Trish Powell exhibiting. Our judge now putting his notes to work, making his final decision on who he will be seeing back if there is a drive off, how many, and then we will be placing our top entries in this class. Once again, this class sponsored by Summit Farms of Hubbard, Iowa. Summit Farms, owned by Bruce Rassiter and located in Hubbard, Iowa, has built a distinct reputation in the perch and draft horse industry. The operation manages 26 perch runs at this time, including 10 mares and 1 stallion, and they produce 6 to 9 foals each and every year, all descendants from some of the most sought-after bloodlines in the business. Through the years, Summit Farms has raised and trained national champion hitch horse, and the perch run breed there are all destined for the show ring. Roy Miller has managed the horse operation since 2009. Summit Farms places a strong emphasis on presentation, believing that a well-manicured, impressive operation reflects the quality of the animals within, a philosophy that extends to every aspect of their perch run program. Thank you so much again, our bronze sponsor and class sponsor, Summit Farms of Hubbard, Iowa. Again, we are checking a few numbers here that some might stay, and then we'll be pulling some back in for our drive off. Following our ladies' mare team will be our open tandem cart, the men's mare cart, and our open amateur cart, all classes for tonight. And then tomorrow, bright and early, 8 o'clock, right here in the Warner Coliseum, we begin with our stallion halter classes and our north plot activities going on as well. All right, we are opening the gates. We are going to be sending some of these entries out. We're going to start with the Royal Woods entry. Trish, making your way out to the right. Ladies, if you were asked to stay, you will stay. Those remaining will make your way out to your right. Just pay attention to your ring steward, please. Okay, you are going out. Lauren, if you would make your way out to your right. Faith will be making her way out next. Hallie doing the driving for the Rosica family, Rose Hill Stables. And Miss Katie for the Yoder Equine. We are going to leave Miss Faye Couture for the Ground Pounders in the arena. She is going to stay for our drive off. Our ground crew again working diligently to get those remaining entries back in for our drive off. Horses kind of stalled all over the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to welcome our drive-off contenders into the arena.
Hey, Lisa, do you? It is 1260, 1310, 1771, 22. She'll like the next one. And then say, I don't know what her number is.
We are welcoming back Miss Kelly Woodbury with the Blue Ribbon Days entry. Miss Kinza Zubrod making her way back in. We are welcoming Nicole Hansberger for the Jackson Fork Ranch. Melissa Allebach for the Windermere Farms. This is your drive off on the rail at the trot, ladies. Don't be shy, Minnesota. We're going to cheer on these ladies. This is your drive off. And Faye will be starting our reverse. Faye will be starting our reverse with the ground pounders. And we will be lining up with Faye. As you get down to Bill's direction, we will be lining up with Faye. Let's welcome your drive off into the arena, ladies and gentlemen. What a powerful class of lady drivers. We're going to be opening the gates and we're going to be sending in our remaining entries to be placed in this class. Once again, we say a special thank you going out to our class sponsor and our bronze sponsor, Summit Farms from Hubbard, Iowa. Miss Brittany making her way in for Arcola Ranch. Katie Feevold for the Silver Oak Percherons. Teresa Springett joining us for the Schreiber Percherons and the Rush River entry. Missy Fahey for the Silver Creek Farms. Shelby Payton with the second entry for Zubrod Percherons. Jana doing the driving for Fedor Farms. Lauren making her way in for Pine Hollow Dairy. Miss Faith making her way in for the Hanson Percherons. We are going to fill this arena with these beautiful and talented lady drivers. Miss Hallie making her way in for Rose Hill Percherons. Katie coming back in for the Yoder Equine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have filled this arena from end to end with our beautiful and talented lady drivers. Let's give them all a nice round of applause. What a beautiful way to kick off our first night of performance. And we are now going to be tabulating the results. ready to welcome our ribbon party into the arena for the presentation in this class. Our ribbons will start at 10th place, but we are going to acknowledge our top 15 entries. So today in 15th position of this wonderful class, we're going to welcome number 3012. That is Silver Creek Farms. That is the entry of Matt and Missy Fahey. Missy doing the driving. They are local to the St. Paul area, joining us from Belle Plaine, Minnesota. In 14th position will be number 1384. That is Teresa Springett doing the driving for Rush River and Schreiber Percherons. In 13th position will be entry 2808. That is the entry of Arcola Ranch. Joining us from Arizona with Brittany Miller exhibiting. In 12th place, number 4001, Hanson Percherons. They too are hometown exhibitors from Chatfield, Minnesota, with Faith Brooks exhibiting. Our 11th place joins us all the way from Viking, Alberta, Canada. That is the Rose Hill Stable entry with Hallie Rosica doing the driving. We are now going to move into your top 10 and your ribbons. If you would please make your way over. We have Miss Bethany and Miss Sophia helping to make the presentation in this class. Your top 10 include entry number 4000. That is the Fedor Farm Percherons making the trip from Cassopolis, Michigan, with Jana doing the driving. In 9th position today is number 2263. That is Silver Oak Percherons, the Strain family, joining us from Virden, Manitoba, with Katie Feebold exhibiting. Eighth place today going to entry 4002, Pine Hollow Dairy, all the way from New York, with Lauren doing the driving. 7th place today going to number 4007, Yoder Equine Stables from Hooper, Utah, with Miss Katie Cook doing the driving. Congratulations. In 6th place, number 1310A, that is the entry of Zubrod Percherons. They join us from Guthrie, Oklahoma. Shelby Payton doing the driving. And we're moving into your top 5. What an outstanding class. In 5th place, number 2292, Windermere Farms, all the way from Spring Mills, Pennsylvania, with Melissa doing the driving. In 4th place, number 2611, Ground Pounders Percherons from Granite Falls, Minnesota, Faye Couture doing the driving. Miss JoJo getting a passenger seat up there with Faye. Your top 3 entries, with 3rd place today going to 1771, Jackson Fork Ranch. Nicole Hansberger doing the driving. Our top 2 left in the arena shows what a spectrum we have, from the very seasoned driver to the younger driver. They both did an excellent job. Today we announce as your reserve world champion, number 1260, Blue Ribbon Days, the entry with Kelly Woodbury doing the driving. Miss Sage, her assistant, always smiling and waving as she makes her way around. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to crown your world champion. Congratulations, number 1310, the Zubrodd Percherons of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Miss Kinza Zubrodd at the last World Show was entered in all of our youth classes. She has now matured into driving in the open classes. And what a drive she had, showcasing the mares. She did a wonderful job. We are going to have our queens, Sophia and Bethany, making the presentation. Summit Professionals capturing the win. It looks like Miss Sophia is going to take a victory pass. I think Bethany's going to jump right up there as well. Beautiful young ladies representing our Percheron breed. And your winner, our congratulations going out once again to Miss Kinza Zubrodd. Congratulations, your world champion driver of the registered mare team. She's going to make her way around on that blue ribbon past the victory lap, your world champion. Let's take her out with a nice round of applause.